Hey Aries. So I'm getting big Martian energy, as you are. So you may feel extra Martian energy this month. Whatever. And again, everyone might interpret that differently, though you are the one that kind of comes out of nowhere, gets shit done, and then you're like, when things hit you, you're like, and then anxiety can be potent from feeling this energy as well. It's just wanting to reconnect you. Martian energy is just like that alien spirituality. It's like you understanding that you are someone who births things and you're always in that zone, and now you're just reconnecting to a zone that you are most comfortable with. Though it may feel uncomfortable right now because we're all going through different things. You are, again, going through this shift of how you put your creativity out there, how you use that side of yourself, how you birth things, how you ignite things, how you do and say things this month. You may find that people want to come at you. So it's just important to speak in a way that is productive and know that to do your best not to take too much personal, even though it is personal, and just know that this could be coming from just not a good place from Virgos. They are going through it. So if there's a Virgo in your life, you might just want to take some space from them. And if there is a Scorpio or Sagittarius, or if you have strong Scorpio or Sagittarius placements, you are feeling good. But you're also moving through a dark time. A time where it's become very clear to you that the eclipse is putting you through this really quick change, and seeing that something that was working, especially if it was a Virgo, is not working. They're not coming from a place of sincerity yet. They are hurt. They could be hurt right now. And you wanting what you want from them, then them wanting what they want from you, it's just not working right now. And it might be best to just acknowledge that and allow yourself some space from that situation. Ooh. I'll let this card come out. To focus on also the good things, the positive things. If there's a lot of talk about the negative, which are important, and you need to see both sides. So spoken from a true Libra. And I know you, like, Virgos can tend to want only their side to be shown as well as yours. And not that you're both not right. You're probably both right. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Scorpio and Sagittarius know, well, it doesn't matter if you're right. It matters how you respond to that. How you respond next, how you move the situation, how you deal with the situation. And you have the power to do that. The Death card and the Temperance card is also signifying this connection you have. You might have a connection with death too right now, and you're moving through that. So this situation with the Virgo, or just with someone who has Virgo placements, or is someone who you're just not seeing eye to eye with right now, you're learning how to not just keep going because you want to get to the other side. You're learning to understand your nature and when it's best used. And you're connecting with the side of yourself, this resolution that you have from an experience with death, and it could have been a death of a Sagittarius even, though this experience through this, it's also, you're gaining insight into the fight in yourself, and where that really comes from. And it's important to look and see where it is that you're being readjusted, where you can now see very clearly and directly create impact and focus on how that feeling and how that understanding is now moved into your life. Because this part of you that's been hurt, you're gaining insight on it now. As you feel it and it starts to sink in, you get to acknowledge it and then move from there. Not just coming in hot, gonna stay this way. You're vulnerable. It's Gemini season. It's going to be aired out either way, and it's gonna come at you in a way that maybe you were not expecting. Though it leaves you sitting with yourself more in a calm way. You may feel alone, this Martian energy, but you're not. You may spend a lot of time alone this month though, more than usual. And it might be important to reconnect with what makes you feel magic, what makes you feel that electricity. And I know it's love for you. It's always love and loving what you do. And now it's loving who you are. There could be a Libra in your life who is very connected to you, and you feel very connected to them, and you want to reach out to them, and they might be here to support you. Just know that they're going through their interesting time as well, but they could be very helpful, and this person may offer some words of wisdom or some helpful words to you. Some of you, this could be me. And whatever you're getting from what they're saying, it seems very helpful. It appears extremely helpful. Actually, we're gonna stop there. And it makes you feel new. By the end of the month, you'll move through it and you'll feel more like yourself the more you feel this weirdness and fall through this weirdness, because you're so human. But it's like your heart, and you just like, there's so much heat. We're coming into summertime, and so whenever you need to cool off, just dip your foot in the water. Just dip it in the water. Find a way to cool off this month. That Martian energy is big. And maybe, again, cooling off can mean many different things. I'm not saying go swimming. I'm not saying, drink some water. Make sure you drink a lot of water, for sure, always. But it's about cooling yourself down in a way that is giving yourself what you need in those moments when you know the friction can come out, but it's not necessary, when that anger can come out, even though it's just, it's going to be shooting yourself in the foot type shit. It's really important to find that you work on, again, tending to this fire that is going to be so used next season in cardinal water. You may feel justice in the way that you need it by the end of the month. And it's going to improve even your health is going to shift. And if you're worried about certain parts of your health, there's so many different aspects that hit different parts of us that are happening this month. So Mercury in retrograde is going to have you rehash some things. And it's funny because this eclipse is coming up strong for you, the lunar eclipse more so, and it's going to leave kind of a tunnel for you. So the Martian energy is about seeing yourself in a way that you haven't been in a while, which is vulnerable, and so yourself, which is that Martian energy again. And so that reconnection with that place brings you so much reassurance by the end of the month, reignited with your passion, with love, and even this new sense of a different sense of self. This part of you that you don't want just to come and go. Martian. I just keep saying it now. And to make sure you're not just using it because you need to overcompensate. It's just for you to use and be a part of yourself and to express yourself. And it makes you feel like yourself, so why not? I'm just saying. Gemini season definitely brought, some truths. Though this death experience, this rebirth experience that you've even felt, and you felt so much, it's important for you to acknowledge it. It may make you feel, again, off, but then feeling off makes you, reminds you of the Martian, and then you're feeling, oh, I get this. Just haven't felt vulnerable in a while. You're communicating differently with yourself, which everybody is. That's what I'm gathering is the theme. Yeah. And you find a lot of clarity once Mercury goes direct and you're able to communicate clearly. And things are communicated clear with you. And you'll be grateful that you didn't give in to the friction. So discipline. Cool? Yeah. We'll look at the cards, which also gives more insight in the next part. And an extended link, which we'll go through these and we'll get into July. We'll clarify all of these cards. And that will bring us to the extended video on Patreon, and then you can book me one-on-one on my website, and my Instagram account is also below. Okay, Aries, I love you. Have a great season and cool off. Hi, Aries. Alrighty. So, your shift is through an actual death in life that you are grieving or coping with and have been, especially if that was during Sagittarius or Scorpio season. But this eclipse is bringing it back up to you. The reminder of you allowing yourself to feel it all. And this process, again, that Martian energy, because you're feeling so much that it's affecting how you're living. And what is interesting about Aries is that for you guys, when something intensely affects you, it's a lot of feeling. And it makes sense to you, but not everyone gets it. But that's like your nature. And it's like people might look at you as if you have like a few heads this month because of how much you're feeling. And like, that's what makes you feel more Martian-like, because you're reconnecting with that spiritual side of yourself. Not that it's never not there. You're just realizing there's this thing about you, and it's becoming more clear to you that you might have been fighting it for a while, and it might have been the death that brought you closer, even closer to that part of yourself. Because when any human goes through something life-altering, there's an emphasis on faith. on trusting life, on trusting the process of life. And we're essentially asked by everyone around us to deal with it, even though we're all still learning to deal with it. The way you're handling this is very transformative because it will show you how much you've grown and where you're at, and even give you more insight on what's important, even more important to you now. Even more clear direction, because this looks intense, and it is. And it may feel extremely intense on the outside, especially with all of everything going on. The cool thing about this eclipse is that it brings it up and it shifts things so quickly for you. It doesn't feel, a couple weeks doesn't feel like a long time, or could feel like a long time, but it's really a very short, minuscule period of life. And so you being able to see this through allows other people to understand different sides of grieving processes as well. Everyone's is different. What we've made, depending on how you've grown up with death, depending on where you come from with it, some people grieve for longer periods of time than others. Some people want to get it over with. It depends on where you come from and how you were taught. And now you're finding a way that works better for you, which ultimately breeds a very content, secure, even more secure about what you want, where you're going, and how you want to speak about that. Libran energy. Also, this connection with a Libra is very strong. It seems like you're both listening to each other. And even just you listening to these sides of yourself that knows that this is a part of it. And it's a part of what makes you so unique and so Martian-like. Where you know that just brings you even more. And you're more capable to even kind of give a taste of your own medicine. And so clearly, the universe wants to give to you what you've given up to it. It's very cool. It's really cool seeing your process, honestly. Knowing how you choose, like how you live your life is how much like you're loved by so many people. I hope that makes sense. And I'll get right into the extended reading, which clarifies all of this, even these different maybe people coming towards you, or even people that you're ultimately saying goodbye to, or person. And then link to work with me one-on-one is below, and my Instagram. Okay? I love you, Aries, and we'll see you in Cancer season.